Alright, hey guys. I need to figure out an intro. I really just want to crank out another quick video real quick. Quick. So I could get a preview in for the Auburn LSU game. Now, this is obviously I don't want to say it's obviously game of the week. I mean, some people believe that TCU is gonna hang with the OSU. I mean, you're not mentally ill if you think that. No, don't let me get you wrong. But I don't know. I mean, TCU, it's not 2014. I just don't think they have the dogs to hang out with anybody. And I mean, I don't know who they return at quarterback, but the point being, I think this is going to be, I think this is more rightfully the game of the week. And it could go several ways here. A lot of people, especially look at the spread and the match predicted by ESPN, probably think it's going to be a pretty handy Auburn dub. And I'd be inclined to believe that as well because, Auburn, I think they're 13, 14 games deep in the home game winning streak. They started against this same team in 2016. Um, their matchups, I wanted to say this a little bit later. When you look at this matchup wise, it's a lot like LSU against Miami, and where all the strengths of Miami, um, well, let me say all the weaknesses of Miami pretty much tied into the strengths of LSU. Weak O line, um, minimal deep passing game, and kind of a undersized defensive front. When you look at this matchup, LSU's running game plays in Auburn's strength, which is the front seven. LSU's minimal deep passing game plays into the hands of Auburn's very athletic linebackers who play pretty solid man coverage up front. Usually, they don't let too many running backs in the flat. I don't think that's too much of a problem against Washington. I don't think the receiving the receiving running backs got too much carry. Yeah, see, we didn't let up. We let up one back to get yards out the backfield, I believe. So it was a pretty efficient day in that regard. Um, and I mean, that's really all I got to say. I don't know enough about LSU special team to make a gamble on that, but I really liked how Ryan Davis performed. Booby probably won't be back there anymore because he's looking to get a lot of running back snaps now. But Noah Ignog, see, I know how to pronounce it when I'm not on camera. Ignogbing, I'm sorry, Noah. Him and maybe they want to throw Ryan Davis back out there, who will probably be very dependent on the actual offense, but they're really good receiving threats from the punt return and kick return. And I really just want to break it down into format form because I do think Auburn's going to win, but I want to give reasons why. This is an Auburn channel, by the way. Whenever I am discussing Auburn, it's inherently biased, but I try not to be as much as possible. When I look at the offense for Auburn, I like the adjustments as far as at least trying to make the deep pass game work last week against ASU. Shout out to ASU. We tried to make it work. It. I don't want to say it didn't work because we got a couple of good plays off of it, but another couple passes just went kind of aimlessly. You could tell they were like trying to force it. I think we had one driver was like at least two 20-plus yard passes, and I think it was like a 3 and out, honestly. So it's kind of, they're trying to try some new things for this game, this matchup. Against Washington, I don't know how. Let me see. I stood them 7.6. Yeah, that's pretty solid. But I mean, you could obviously be better in that regard. But he made a lot of the smart throws, and that's really what Stem's game is. Stem is going to be a game breaker, or a two or something like that. But he's going to be a smart thrower, and I feel like LSU. This one, the LSU game started early. He had a lot of good looks last year, and really piggyback off of Carrion, who exploded early that game. They got they actually got the chance to hit Will Hastings deep, And that's another one of my matchups I like is Hastings and Stove returning. Hastings was big in this game. I don't think the speed sweep was too prevalent after a while. I know Eli, he got a couple good plays in, but after a while, he shut down the speed sweep. Ryan Davis went off in that game too. Shout out to Ryan Davis. Slayton got his, but really, it's those two add a lot to this. The return of the speed sweep. I know Stowe's gonna be doing that a lot, but I like Schwartz in that role. So I think when you have Schwartz, you get a, a more of an added threat. I feel like receiving wise than Eli. Eli has, of course, great speed, but he doesn't have even the same amount of speed. And I just like Schwartz more as a receiver. So I expect to have both doing the speed sweep from time to time. I think we're going to see a lot more of that I formation under center, the fake handoff or the fake speed sweep, those two intertwined together. There's going to be a lot of those looks. And probably some passes off of the fake speed sweep to the flat. So that's something to look forward to. What else did I have? See, I can't pull my notes up. Yeah, running game. Running game is gonna be a lot deeper. You're gonna have a lot more looks. You can tell they really like Booby right now, but Sean Shivers, he was explosive. Of course, he's not gonna be running over LSU linebackers the same way he did at ASU, but he really has a lot of dog in him, and he just keeps on training for it. I think he's gonna be using more in a receiving format in this game, but I could see him like just get straight up like up the middle and just let it work. Offensive line could get some push, which I don't know if they can in the interior because they looked awful against Washington. I think Caleb Kim might have a short leash in this game. I think you can see Brahms come out pretty early in this one. Caleb Kim, he just at best is a stalemate. I saw it in the form, and it's a good way to describe him. Moving on to the defense, I already talked about what I really want to talk about was the front seven and Burrow. If you look at the statistics, even in his best game, best games here, he's been marginally decent, like 5.8 yards. And in college, that's pretty mediocre. You got to do better than that. 140 yards against the LSU team, I guess the Miami team was ripped up by the running game. He didn't hit any of the deep throws in that game, as I remember. And in this game, I didn't get to watch this, but I mean, it was only marginally higher against an awful, awful FCS team. Only did 50%. I mean, I just don't see him making a big change. They got the receiver talent, of course, but I don't think he can really make too big a change in just a couple of weeks, especially against an actual decent team. Justin Jefferson's a receiver to watch. I watched him against Miami. He's pretty good. Jordan Jefferson's little brother. Uh, the running game, it seems like they pretty much have found their main guy, Brosette. He looks pretty good from what I saw in the first game. The other guys like this dude and Chris Curry, they they'll probably get most like combined with the rest of the running backs probably get most like 15, 16 carries. And I mean that's really strange. Like this 8 carries other than Brosette. So I mean I expect like 15 might be highballing it. Every running back except Brosette might get combined like 12 really, but at least it makes the game easier for Auburn. There's no change up. Usually there isn't playing LSU. You either get Fournette, you get Geis, you get Stephen Hill. You don't get any switch ups. I think his name is Stephen Hill. Usually you just get the lead back, and that's it. And that anemic level of doing things is what works for LSU. So trying to do this a little bit faster. 9 minutes. Special teams, the last thing. Aiden Marshall is officially gone. I think it's for the best. I remember last year he had punted. I don't know if it was a bad punt or I think it was bad coverage on that punt. It wasn't the worst punt he ever had, but he gave up the game-winning punt that ended up, I guess, they didn't like get ahead of it, but it pretty much threw all the momentum their way, and we never really recovered from that. But I mean, we lost the game from one just Aiden Marshall. But I mean that Sipos, I mean they got all the trust in him. We'll see how it goes. And field goals being easier at home. I think that's really just a pretty indicative one. Not Aiden Marshall. Anders Carlson. It's going to be his first non-dome. I think they were in the dome right in the first game. They might have been. They might have lifted the top off. Well, I guess he played last week. I mean, who did they play last week? They played. I mean, think about it like that. And he didn't get to kick any field goals. So we'll see how he plays in a pressure situation. Again, he's going to be at home. Basically, in the home crowd game one, so it's not the most pressure situation, which is good for him to get his feet wet. And that's really about it. I think we should win something like. I think we could come out here. Here's a 1 or 2 ways I can see this going. That's 1 or 3. LSU could win. Okay, it's gonna be like a 5 point, something like that, some real close win. Or Auburn could win in a game where they struggled quite a bit and they couldn't handle business, but they barely pull it out. Let's say by like 3 points a field goal. Or Auburn can win how they should win, which is by 10, 15 plus, because they are by far the better team in this matchup, I believe. LSU's defense is great, but it should be pretty worn down by like the third quarter, and this should be a game going away from them pretty quickly. If Shivers and my boy Booby show up, Stidham gets like just a marginal Stidham game. Like, if you look at this, if he can hit something around, he only has 386 yards combined. Well, he didn't do much last week, so if he could give them like 275 on like 65+% completion. Don't worry about the touchdowns, but you can just do those two, then they should be more than enough to win this one. And that's my thoughts on this game. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope I didn't sound too much of a homer. Um, just come back, different types of content, share the video, whatever. Hey, see you.